Reb Berurach, Sword of the Spirit, narrated and interpreted by Wendy. Jual. Chapter 1. The word of Yehweh that came to Jual, the son of Petuel. Hear this, you elders, and hearken, all you inhabitants of the land. Did this come about during your days, or during the days of your forefathers? Tell your children about it, and your children to their children, and their children to another generation. What the chewing locust leaves behind, the swarming locust will devour, and what the swarming locust leaves behind, the nibbling locust will devour, and what the nibbling locust leaves behind, the consuming locust will devour. Awaken, you drunkards, and weep, and cry out, all you who drink upon the new wine, which has been cut off from your mouth. For a nation has ascended upon my land, mighty and without number. Its teeth are like the teeth of an old lion, and its fangs are like those of a young lion. He has laid my vine desolate, and my fig tree is whipped and bare. He has peeled the bark and cast it off. Its branches have become white. Lament like a virgin clothed in sackcloth for the husband of her youth. The memorial offering and drink offering have been cut off from the house of Yehweh. The priests, the ministers of Yehweh, mourn. The field has been plundered. The Adamah is destroyed. For grain has been plundered. Most has dried up. Oil has been cut off. Be ashamed, you plowmen. Cry out, you vine dressers. For wheat and for barley, for the harvest of the field is lost. The vines have dried up, and the fig trees have been cut off, the pomegranates also, the date palms and the apples. All the trees of the field have dried up, for joy has dried up from the children of Adam. Gird yourselves and lament, you priests. Wail, you ministers of the altar. Come, dwell in sackcloth, you ministers of my Elohim, for the memorial offering and the drink offerings have been withheld from the house of your Elohim. Proclaim a fast, call an assembly. Assemble, you elders, all the inhabitants of the land, to the house of Yehweh, your Elohim, and cry out to Yehweh. Cry out for that day, for the day of Yehweh is near, and like plunder it will come from the Almighty. Is it not before your eyes? The food is cut off from the house of your Elohim. Joy and jubilation. Casks of wine have gathered mold under their bungs. The storehouses are laid waste. Garners are demolished, for the grain has dried out. How the cattle sighs. The herds of cattle are confused, for they have no pasture. Also flocks of sheep are laid waste. To you, O Yehweh, I call, for a fire has consumed the dwellings of the wilderness, and a fire has burnt all the trees of the field. Also the beasts of the field cry out to you, for the spring of water has dried up, and the fire has consumed the dwellings of the wilderness. Chapter 2. Blow a trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants from the land tremble, for the day of Yehweh comes, for it is near at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. A great and strong people is spreading upon the mountains, like the morning. There has never been like it, nor will there be like it again, over the years of many generations. A consuming fire devours before them. Also flames burn behind them. The land before them is like the Garden of Eden, but behind them is desolate wilderness. Also no one can escape them. Their appearance is like the appearance of horses and horsemen. Also they run like the sound of chariots on top of the mountains. They leap like the sound of flames that devour the stubble, like a strong people set in battle formation. Their presence causes the people great pain. Everyone's face gathers soot. They ran like mighty men. They climbed the wall like warriors, and everyone walked his way. They did not pledge to a path, and each one did not press his brother. Also, each one walked in his path, and when they fell upon the sword, they were not wounded. They ran to and fro in the city. They ran upon the wall. They climbed up upon the houses. They entered in the windows like a thief. The earth will shake before them. The heavens will tremble. The sun and moon will be dark, and the stars will withdraw their shine. And Yahweh will utter his voice before his army, and his camp will be very great. For he who executes his word is strong. For the day of Yahweh is great and terrible, and who can abide in it? Also, now Yahweh says, return yourself to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. Moreover, tear your heart and not your garments, and return unto Yahweh your Elohim, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and will be consoled from doing harm. Who he knows, he will turn back and be consoled, and leave an endowment behind him, a memorial offering and a drink offering unto Yahweh your Elohim. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, gather the children, and those who suck the breasts. Let the bridegroom go out of his chamber, and the bride out of her closet. Let the priests and ministers of Yahweh weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare your people, O Yahweh, and do not give your heritage to reproach, so that the nations will rule over them. Why should they say among them, where is your Elohim? Then Yahweh will be jealous for his land, and pity his people. Also Yahweh will answer and say to his people, behold, I will send you grain, and wine, and oil. Then you will be satisfied by it, and I will not make you a reproach among the nations any more. Also I will remove the northern army, and I will drive it into a barren and desolate land, with his face toward the eastern sea, and his backside toward the western sea. And his stench will rise up, also his foul odor will come up, because he has done great things. Fear not, Adama. Be glad and rejoice, for Yahweh will do greater things. Do not be afraid, you beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring. For the trees bear her fruit, the fig tree and the vine yield their strength. Therefore be glad, you children of Zion, and rejoice in Yahweh your Elohim, for he has given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause the rain to come down for you, the former rain, also the latter rain, in the first month. And the floors will be full of wheat, and the vats will overflow with wine and oil. And I will restore to you the years that the locust had eaten, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. And you will eat in plenty, and be satisfied, and praise the name of Yahweh your Elohim, who has dealt wondrously with you, and my people will never be ashamed. And you will know that I am in the midst of Yeshariel, and that I am Yahweh your Elohim, and no one else. And my people will never be ashamed. And it will come to pass afterward that I will pour out my Ruach upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions. Also during those days I will pour out my Ruach upon the servants and upon the handmaids. I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun will be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of Yahweh comes. Yet it will come to pass that whoever will call upon the name of Yehweh will be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Yerushalayim there will be deliverance, like Yehweh has said. Also in the remnant whom Yehweh will call. Chapter 3. For behold, in those days and at that time, then I will bring the captivity of Yehuda and Yerushalayim again. I will gather all nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and there I will plead with them for my people, and for my heritage, Yishariel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and divided my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and they have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, so that they may drink. Also, what have you to do with me, O Tsur and Sidon, and all the borders of Pelishtim? Are you rendering me a payback? Yet, if you pay me back, I will swiftly and speedily return your payback upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried my pleasant possessions into your temples. Also, you have sold the children of Yehuda and the children of Yerushalayim to the Grecians, so that you might remove them far from your border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them, and I will return your payback upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Yehuda, and they will sell them to Shebaim, to the people far away. For Yehweh has spoken it. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all you nations, and gather yourselves together round about. Why will Yehweh descend to the mighty ones? Let the nations be awakened, and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat. For there I will sit to judge all the nations round about. Put in your sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get yourself down, for the press is full. The vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes upon multitudes are in the valley of decision, for the day of Yehweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon will be darkened, and the stars will withdraw their shine. Also, Yehweh will roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Yerushalayim, and the heavens and the earth will shake. But Yehweh will be the hope of his people, and the strength of the children of Yishariel, so that you will know that I am Yehweh, your Elohim, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then Yishariel will be holy, and there will be no nations pass through her any more. And it will come to pass during that day that the mountains will drop down a new wine, and the hills will flow with milk, and all the rivers of Yehuda will flow with waters, and the fountain will come out of the house of Yehweh, and will water the valley of Shittim. Mitzrayim will be a desolation, and Adum will be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Yehuda, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Yehuda will dwell forever, and Yerushalayim from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood, which I had not cleansed, for Yehweh dwells in Zion. The end. Thank you for listening to my interpretation of Yuna. I'd like to give a special thanks to all my subscribers and to everyone who has helped support my Bible project. I hope that you find my Bible series, Choreb Beruach, Sword of the Spirit, enlightening. The word of Yehweh is a treasure trove of mysteries. It's amazing what you'll discover when you read it with your eyes open. My name is